Colm Tóibín's 1999 novel The Blackwater Lightship is set in 1990s Ireland, primarily within the confines of an old house perched on a crumbling seaside cliff in County Wexford. Once, two lighthouses stood in view from the house. Now, only the Blackwater Lightship remains, its absence echoing the loss that shadows the family at the heart of the story. Helen O'Doherty's younger brother Declan, who is 28, is dying. At his request, Helen returns to their grandmother's home with Declan and their estranged mother Lily for a 5-day reunion. This brief visit unearths old grievances and provides Helen with new insights into love and family. Despite her outward success, serving as Ireland's youngest headmistress and having a loving, easygoing husband, Hugh, Helen struggles with emotional reserve and occasional gloominess, which Hugh's warmth helps to counterbalance. They live comfortably in Dublin with their 2 young sons. After hosting a celebratory end-of-year dinner party, Helen expects a few peaceful days alone. Her solitude is interrupted when Paul, a friend of Declan's, arrives to inform her of her brother's grave illness with AIDS and his wish for her to visit him in the hospital. Helen, though aware of Declan's sexuality, is shocked to learn the severity of his condition. At Declan's request, Helen is to deliver the news of his illness to their mother and grandmother and ask them to gather at their grandmother's seaside home. Unbeknownst to Lily and Dora, Declan is gay and ill. 2 of Declan's close friends, Paul and Larry, who have supported him through his illness, will also join them. As Helen drives to the seaside home, she contemplates her strained relationship with her mother, which has been unresolved for 10 years. Lily missed Helen's wedding and has never met her family. Helen has kept her resentment towards her mother hidden from Hugh, hoping never to confront it again. Now, Helen is thrust back into her family's midst. The reunion at Dora's aging house brings Helen, her estranged family, and 2 strangers together to support Declan in his final days. Helen hopes that this difficult time will prompt them to overlook their differences. Yet, deep-seated disagreements and generational views on gender and sexuality surface. While Dora, though in her 80s, remains spirited and progressive, she struggles to acknowledge Declan's sexuality. Lily is more conservative and finds it challenging to accept Paul and Larry, who have been like family to Declan during his illness. The compassionate care Paul and Larry provide for Declan during his illness begins to undermine Lily's sense of importance, leading her to ask them to leave. Paul stands his ground, insisting that Declan loves her and advising her to stop wallowing in self-pity. Although Larry opens up to Helen and Dora about his family's refusal to accept his homosexuality, Helen finds a deeper connection with Paul. Through their conversations, Helen confronts the event that fractured her family. 20 years earlier, when Helen was 11, she and Declan were left at Dora's house while their parents went to Dublin. Months passed with no word from their parents, except for vague mentions of medical tests. When Lily finally returned, it was alone. Helen's father had died of cancer, leaving Lily devastated and emotionally distant. Lacking a proper model for handling loss, Helen suppressed her grief and feelings of abandonment. Helen confides in Paul, "When my father died, I was left alone by my mother and grandmother. I received no comfort from them, and those 2 women are parts of myself that I have buried." As Declan nears death and his friends' love and care become evident, Helen gains new insight into the failings that emerged after her father's death. Like Helen, Paul is reserved but opens up about his husband, Francois. Paul shares how they secretly married with the help of a sympathetic priest in Belgium after their relationship evolved from friendship to romance. Declan found solace and protection in their home, often seeking refuge from his fears of rejection. In his final moments, Declan, overwhelmed with pain, calls out for Lily. She holds him and sings to him, providing the love and acceptance he had longed for. Helen and Lily, finally confronting their broken relationship, begin to mend their bond. Helen expresses the pain and confusion she felt after her father's death, even irrationally believing that Lily had somehow caused it. Lily acknowledges the depth of her grief and the betrayal of her faith in love. Their shared vulnerability helps bridge years of misunderstanding and sets them on a path to reconciliation. The vigil at Dora's house concludes when Declan's condition worsens and he must return to the hospital. On the drive, Lily and Helen sing to Declan, trying to offer him comfort as he nears the end. Helen extends an invitation to her mother to visit her home for the first time, and Lily accepts. The Blackwater Lightship was a finalist for the 1999 Booker Prize. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.